It is all you.
All right. Good evening, everybody. It is Shawn and Michelle Poe and Dr. Harris in the house tonight. It is March 12th. I can't believe it. It's March, and it was absolutely beautiful recently here in South Dakota. But today, we've got how many inches of snow out there? Probably 3 or 4 at least, 3 or 4 inches of snow. So winter is not gone, but we know that it's going to be melting here, and we are just so excited. Shawn was joking right before this got started that it is his 40th birthday coming up on Thursday. So we have had fun this past week. At the last second, I decided that we needed to do something really special and fun for his birthday. Flew over to Spain. I think we were flying just as long as we were there, and went and saw Barcelona play in a football/soccer game, and it was one of the biggest games in history. Actually, they made history. It was an absolutely incredible event, and we're just so excited for your birthday, Shawn. And tomorrow is actually our daughter's 10th birthday, so it's March. I don't know how many of you out there have a lot of March birthdays in your families, but it seems like March birthdays are everywhere. But we are just so excited. It's great as always to see your faces out there tonight. Say hello, and just to get back together again. We do this every single Sunday at 8:30 Central Time, and what we're doing is what's called blueprint training. So it's training on the how-tos to do this incredible business that we've got here at LifeVantage. And then we also add in guest speakers that teach us more in depth about the products that we have at our company. And so tonight we're going to be having Dr. Harris, and I'll be introducing him here shortly. But tonight we are going to first talk about the follow-up. That is one of the training aspects in the blueprint that we have. And Shawn, you're going to put that up for me? While he's doing that, I definitely want to remind you guys that we have a system here at LifeVantage and within our organization that we have different activities that we are so fortunate to have every week. Every Sunday, like we said, we have this training, the how-tos to do this business. Every Monday at 11 o'clock Central, we have the motivational call that Elite Pro 9 Stu Brody and Master Pro 10 Carrie Ticky do. That call is phenomenal for motivation. It's incredible for learning and hearing different testimonials. Get your friends, get your team on those calls, because that is where you will get motivated. That's where you will learn more. That's where your belief will continue to grow and grow and grow. Tomorrow night, we have a specific doctor call, and there are going to be doctor calls every Monday until we just say that they're not going to be there anymore. But every Monday at 9 o'clock Central, we're going to be having these calls. And tomorrow night is going to be a guest speaker. He's a chiropractor named Dr. Bly Hatch. And Dr. Hatch is a very good friend of ours. He's a chiropractor down in Arizona. And Stu Brody actually just sent information out on him. So definitely look at that and definitely get your friends, your family, any people that you're thinking about in regards to these products and this opportunity on that call tomorrow night. It's incredible. It's a quick call, and again, it builds your belief as to what we've got here at our company. Thursday nights, 8:30 Central, we always have a live opportunity call. Those calls are 30 minutes long. It's assuming that the person has seen the ABC Primetime Investigative Report, and an elite distributor will go on and they will talk about our entire product line. They will talk about the opportunity and what we've got here at LifeVantage. And again, that is completely in the very beginning how Shawn and I first got started. We would get our friends and we'd get our family on those calls, and right afterwards we would get one of our team member and family members on the phone to help us get through the process and present that information to people. Sometimes if we didn't even have somebody on the call, we would always listen in to those calls, because that's how we learn how to do the business. You hear it over and over and over. This business is so simple. It's just a matter of hearing it and getting it and speaking it out. And again, like I said, is just building that belief and becoming so incredibly convicted. And the last thing that I'll say before we get into the follow-up, getting started, is convention. If you're on this call, I'm assuming that you are registered for convention because you're spending your Sunday nights, you're plugging in, you're learning how to do this business, and you are committed and you are taking this business as if it is your business that is going to, bring, it depends on what you want, generational changes for your family, for your community, for whatever it is on your heart. Convention is the place where magic happens. 2 weeks after Shawn and I enrolled, we had Carrie Williams, many of you know from Arizona, kept coming back saying, Michelle, you guys got to go, you got to go. And I said, well, we're not really looking to do this as a business. We just, we bought into the business, we spent all this money, and I can't even think of getting an airline ticket. I can't think of, going out and getting hotels. She's like, you got to go, you got to go, you got to go. And then finally she said, Michelle, it will cut 6 to 12 months off your learning curve. If you want to be sharing this with people, even if you're not thinking of doing this as a business, you need to know what you're talking about. And that's all she had to say to me, was that it will cut 6 to 12 months off your learning curve. And we went, and I'm telling you, because we went, that changed everything for us. Literally everything. Those of you that have been to events know and understand that events literally change it all. So make sure that you are there. Go to lifeadvantage.com, get registered. If you're thinking about it, if you're not sure how, just do it. Trust me, because when you're done, you will definitely understand why you need to be there. Do it for yourself. So tonight we're going to be talking about the follow-up. How many of you have heard that the fortune is in the follow-up? In anything, right? In any sort of sales, in any type of business out there. And in this business as well, the fortune is in the follow-up. And as I was thinking about all this, I was thinking over the past years of us sharing this and doing, different presentations and talking with different friends about this opportunity and these products. I realized that, as you can see here, can you all see the screen where it says the fortune's in the follow-up? I can only see a couple of you. So Dr. Hode, I can see you. Can you see my screen? Okay, perfect. You see where it says 48% never follow up after the first exposure. 25% make a second contact. 12% make 3 contacts, then stop. Only 10% make more than 3 contacts. Go down to the very bottom where it says 80% of sales are made in the 5th to the 12th contact. I want you guys to take a picture of that and remember that. Because so many times when you get started in this business, you think because we have products that nobody in the industry, nobody in the nutraceutical industry, the pharmaceutical industry, any of the industries has our products. So we think, what in the world, how can these people not see what we have after the first contact, right? That happens to us all the time. It doesn't make sense. But guess what? It takes time. I go back to thinking about when Nikki shared this with me. I was busy. She reached out to me, asked me to watch the ABC Primetime Investigative Report. We were getting ready to go out of town. We had a lady living with us from Spain. We were both working, had full-time jobs, online business. It took her several times to follow up with me. After I finally looked at it, even though I was skeptical, I looked at it, was intrigued, then went to a meeting. It took her several times. So be kind, be generous to yourself, be patient, and build a relationship with your prospects, with anybody that you're sharing this with, and have the end in mind, not the sale, like they've got to get in now, they've got to see this, because you're going to build a relationship with them. You're going to get them more information. You're going to just talk and share more stories of the journey. I want you guys to set yourself apart from everyone out there and become the follow-up king and queen. One of the easiest ways to grow your business is the follow-up. So think. Okay, I know I've got to invite, I know I've got to do this and that, but become masters at following up. Following up is definitely income producing time. I can't stress that enough. One thing that I was thinking about today, it was, if you're not following up on a consistent basis, what are you basically doing? You're basically starting over. So be consistent, be following up, and keep this in mind. And what I like about this is setting yourself apart. It's kind of a funny picture because some people, laugh at many of us because we have a beautiful, beautiful family here in LifeVantage, and so many of us are, you know, so positive. We know what we've got our hands in. We're very philanthropic. We want to make a difference in the world. We want to go out there and do this, but set yourself apart in the follow-up avenues. Be professional. Go out and know that you are going to set up appointments. You are going to set times to meet with people, to follow up with people, to commit to people, to say what you're going to do and do what you're going. You know, if you say you're going to do something, you follow through with it. You go into a meeting and you say you're going to be there at 8:30, you're there at 8:30. I wanted this other picture too. I love is think about how you're treated. Would you pass the white glove test for being punctual, dependable, and courteous? People like to be treated professionally. So again, if you say you're going to do something, do it. You know, if you're at a meeting, be on time. Don't be on your phones. Be present to what's going on. Be professional. And keep that in mind, because as you're following up with people and you're being professional and you're treating them in a great, great way, they're going to be thinking in the back of their minds, this is somebody that I want to work with. They don't want to necessarily be working with somebody that's calling them all the time, isn't following up with them in a considerate way. They want to work with somebody that is professional, that is generous, that is positive, that is doing great, great things. As always, we always say speak with honesty, think with sincerity, and act with integrity. So following up, so many times we get the questions on when is the best time to follow up? How should we follow up? How many times should we follow up? You know, am I going to be annoying them? Am I going to be bothering them? What I can say to you is the best time to follow up, honestly, is as soon as possible. You want to follow up with that person the moment that they see whatever it is that you've given to them. If they've seen the ABC Primetime Investigative Report, try your hardest to schedule the time that they see that. And then immediately after that, you can talk to them on the phone. And you can say, or if you're having a coffee meeting, you can talk and say, what did you like best about that? And then you're going to be hearing some positive, great things that they're going to be saying. Or you can say, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you see yourself? You know, a 1 being absolutely no way, and 10 meaning, oh my gosh, sign me up right now. You know, if anything above a 1 is great, because that's a positive deal. So then all we're doing is we're finding ways, what interests them. And that usually goes back to, what did you like best about what you saw? If it's something regarding the product, find out what they were so intrigued about. Ask a lot of questions. We need to do a lot of listening to be very, very good in this business. So if it's about the product, find out what they need. Find out what's important to them. Find out about their family, their kids, anything that's near and dear to them, and direct them to that information. The moment that you give them that information, set up the follow-up. When can you see this in the next 24 hours? Tomorrow at 6, yeah, I'll be able to see it probably tomorrow afternoon. Okay, great. So how about I give you a call at either 6 or 8 p.m.? Which one works best for you? So as you're saying that, you've got those times that work for you. They already said that they could watch it by tomorrow afternoon, so you've got that out there. Always give people what we say is homework, no matter what it is, and set up your next follow-up. Just think that you're going to have 5 to 12 contacts. So after your first one, be like, all right, sweet, I got 11 more to go or so. and if you have, again, that mindset, you're going to be just fine, and you're not going to be frustrated. So after, you talk about, and they've looked at information, you've sent them some different studies, some different abstracts. They've looked at that, you follow up with them. Awesome, what did you like next about that? Oh, I would really like to learn more about this opportunity. Oh my gosh, this is the only product in the world that does what this does. So I was thinking last night that I have a lot of people I could share this with. Can you send me the compensation plan, or can I talk to somebody? Then schedule that time immediately. Don't wait, because they're going to be waiting for you. And if you aren't right on top of it, they're going to get busy with their life, and life is just going to happen. And that excitement, I'm telling you, is going to fizzle out. If you set up those times, you're not going to be chasing them. If it feels ever like you're chasing somebody, you probably are. So don't have that feeling. Just be gentle. If they're busy, don't be annoyed with them. We all lead busy lives. And you know, if you're loving and genuine and honest with them and set those times up, they're going to respect you. So definitely make sure that you're doing that. Some people will ask, well, how often or what do you send as far as follow-ups when you're sending things to people? I have a list of people in my office that I follow up with. Many, many people that are on what's called like a drip list. And so whenever a new study comes out, I send it to them. Like, oh my gosh, it's so cool, you gotta see it. It's short and sweet, I send it out. If there's a specific testimonial that I get from somebody and it pertains to that specific person that I have a relationship and I know that it'll impact them, I send that to them and say, oh my gosh, I was just thinking of you, you've gotta check this out, it's amazing. Short and sweet. If there's a picture of any sort of testimony, I'll send that out. Thought of you. Financials come out, I'll send that out. Whenever we have new products that come out. So many, people, when we first got started, all we had was Protandem and one skincare line. Well, guess what? Since then, now we have Axio, we have Canine Health, we've got Physique, we've got the whole skincare line. I mean, it's just crazy. So when new products come out, follow up with all of that. We have company specials that come up. Have all of them. Oh my goodness, we all love a good deal. This is awesome. You should see how much of this product we go through in our house. I was thinking of you. Check this out, whatnot. And the other thing too is, when you're talking and following up with people, we don't always want it to be about just business. You want to keep that relationship. So have non-LifeVantage conversations, just checking in. How are the kids? What's going on? How are you doing? Let's go for coffee. You want to go to a movie? Different things of that sort. This is something that we always say we maintain relationships first. You don't want people running away from you because all you're talking about is LifeVantage. And then other sources of follow-ups, you guys, we have so many tools. We've got webinars, we've got Zooms, we've got the Thursday night opportunity calls that I mentioned, the Monday night doctor calls. We have recorded calls that we save, and if somebody's interested and if they can't get a third party on, we just send that call out to them. So definitely use all of those. But when is the best time to follow up? The best time to follow up is as soon as possible. Sometimes people will think maybe, give it 2 days, 3 days. But I'm telling you, when it's fresh on people's minds, definitely go out and get them that information that they're looking for right away. Time flies, doesn't it, Shawn? All right. I could keep going on and on about this. I think there's a lot to be said on the follow-up. And if you guys ever want more information on the follow-up or any of the, anything within the blueprint, there's a site called theprovenplan.com. And you can go in there and just feed your brain on all of these different topics. That is phenomenal. All right, perfect. So now we are going to bring on Dr. Harris. We're going to get him here. Dr. Harris is such an incredible guy. We got to meet him and his wife, I think it's a few years now, 2-3 years ago. And he is originally from Iowa, where he received his Bachelor in Science degree from Morningside College in Sioux City. He subsequently received a Doctor of Medicine degree from the University of Iowa College of Medicine in Iowa City. Thereafter, he completed a residency in family medicine. Dr. Harris is a diplomat of the American Board of Family Medicine and a member of the American Academy of Family Physicians. We've got incredible people. Dr. Harris has been in full-time private practice since he completed a residency training. Dr. Harris co-owns Plains Medical Clinic, LLC, with Dr. Joel Schock. A large component of the practice focuses on wellness and age management medicine. You're so awesome, Dr. Harris. I can't wait to hear this tonight. In addition to the full-time clinical practice of family medicine, Dr. Harris has lectured extensively on the pharmacology of depression, bipolar disorder, and ADHD. He is an assistant clinical professor in the Department of Family Medicine at the University of North Dakota School of Medicine. Dr. Harris is currently and/or previously a principal investigator in several clinical trials studying osteoporosis, Alzheimer's disease, cardiovascular disease, and arthritis. We are so blessed and fortunate to have you on tonight, Dr. Harris, to talk to us a lot about the incredible product NRF1. So I'll let you take it over from here.
Well, thank you very much for that introduction. I'm going to share my screen with you here. There we go. Can you see it?
You can see it. Yep.
Okay, excellent. So, I've been practicing medicine for 30 years, and I spend the majority of my time treating chronic disease, and that's largely the result of the aging process. And so we're really trying to make the best out of bad situations. But as a doc that was open to natural therapies, 3 years ago, I became interested in LifeVantage first and foremost because of the health benefits of Protandim. The scientific peer-reviewed studies are a really big deal, especially to a person, in my position. So there I saw the potential to actually keep people well and hopefully slow the aging process. And now we've got a National Institute of Aging study in rodents that shows that we actually prolong life. So the story keeps getting better. So we want to make a little disclaimer here to start with, and I want to make sure that the LifeVantage folks make no claims about the treatment, diagnosis, curing, or preventing any disease. Stick to what we know, and that's within NRF2. We know we reduce oxidative stress, we slow the aging process and prolong life, at least in rats. And with NRF1, we know we improve mitochondrial function, we improve the formation or increase the formation of new mitochondria, and we protect mitochondrial DNA. If you stick to what we know, we won't get in trouble with the FDA. So LifeVantage is a leader in nutrigenomics. We've got a 10-year head start on the entire industry. And what nutrigenomics is using nutrition and naturally occurring compounds to change DNA expression and create a healthier life. And it was our knowledge and understanding of the NRF2 protein that led us to a breakthrough with the NRF1 protein, which is involved in mitochondrial DNA transcription, translation, and repair. So a bit on NRF1 and aging. Mitochondria produce 95% of the energy your body uses for physical as well as mental energy. But these microscopic powerhouses or energy makers break down over time as a natural consequence of the aging process. And that is in fact accelerated by increased exposure to oxidative stress. So the problem as we get older and with mitochondrial related disease is that we have fewer, less efficient mitochondria and reduced production of ATP. That's your body's energy source. It's your energy source for heart function, muscle growth, healthy brain function, and many other things. And so if you can boost your mitochondrial function, you get more energy and you will feel more energetic and younger. If you have any doubt about the connection between mitochondrial dysfunction and decline in your health, just go to www.mitochondrialdiseases.com. And there you're going to get more information you want. But what you're going to see is that mitochondrial dysfunction is a very big part of many diseases, not the least of which is heart disease, diabetes, neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and neuromuscular disease as well. There's also a link between mitochondrial dysfunction and cancer. So what about the NRF1 messenger protein? What is that? Well, Protandim NRF1 causes the NRF1 messenger protein to move from the cytoplasm of the cell into the nucleus. where it interacts with the DNA, but in a different way than the NRF2 protein does.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
The expression increases the called mitochondrial biogenesis, and it also improves existing mitochondrial function. And lastly, it promotes chromosome, which is a medical way of saying that it helps function. So ultimately, NRF1 enables DNA transcription and replication, all of which makes the function better. This is a picture of a mitochondria, and actually is dividing mitochondria. Mitochondria have the ability to divide and multiply in their numbers. And the next slide is actually a picture of mitochondrial DNA. And the mitochondrial DNA is different than the DNA in the nucleus. Mitochondrial DNA is circular, which you can see. And in the nucleus, where our chromosomes are, DNA exists in pairs of helical strands. But the mitochondria for the mitochondrial function, in other words, it's responsible for nutrients and make ATP, which is your energy source. So how did LifeVantage develop NRF1? Well, Dr. Natalie Chevreau, who's the LifeVantage Chief Science Officer, developed Protandim NRF1. This was a result of her extensive clinical experience, research experience, and many trials utilizing multiple naturally occurring substances. Many combinations were tried. Her studies in human cells revealed that Protandim NRF1 increases NRF1 gene expression and ATP production. We have actual human study results showing clinical improvement in a variety of areas. So what are those studies? Well, first, let's talk about the human study. All studies were functioning kidney cells, which were in the test tube, in vitro analysis, and they were all human cells. The ingredients were studied individually as well as in combination. And when Protandim NRF1 was added, several things happened. Number one, ATP production increased by 20%. Your energy source increased by 20%. Secondly, genetic testing showed that the NRF1 gene expression increased by 160%. And in fact, NRF1 gene expression peaked 6 hours after dosing, and the effect was still above baseline 24 hours. Now, we studies. This is a human observational study. It was on not cells in the test tube. And with this study, 40 people a health questionnaire, and the second was a visual analog scale. And the results were subsequently then measured at 2 and 4 weeks. This type of study has validity with the knowledge that the placebo effect can account for 20 to 30% of the results. So what were the results of the human studies? Well, we measured them at 2 and 4 weeks. And what we saw, again, were several things. Number one, we saw improvement in sleep at 34% and 64%. So 34% had improvement at 2 weeks, 64% reported improvement at 4 weeks. And this was likely thought not to be all to placebo effect. And that was Dr. Chevreau's impression. Number two, the amount of dreams increased by 90% and 110% at 2 and 4 weeks. And this essentially indicated that People had better REM sleep. That's your deep sleep. That's the sleep that gives you a restorative sleep, and so you wake up feeling rested. The third thing was that people reported better energy and less fatigue. In fact, people reported better, those two things, 30% of them reported that at 2 weeks. 51% said they had better energy and less fatigue at 4 weeks. 48 and 65% respectively were better rested. Ease of exercise was reported to be improved in 30% at 2 weeks and 40% at 4 weeks. And lastly, mental focus improved in 15% of the participants at 2 weeks and 35% at 4 weeks. And I might add that all those figures are statistically significant over the baseline scores. So let's talk about drug interactions, precautions, and dosing for a minute. We know that when we use Protandim NRF2, for instance, that I've seen that in myself, and my blood pressure is better. We know that that reducing oxidative stress is important in diabetes and reduction of sugars. But the bottom line is, with both NRF2 and NRF1, monitor your sugars, monitor your INRs if you're on Coumadin, and watch your blood pressure as variations can occur. But the dosing with NRF1 is far below the usual levels you might see an effect with any of the individual ingredients. Take your thyroid meds separately, as the alpha lipoic acid component of NRF1 might possibly interfere with the absorption of the thyroid medication. Protandim NRF1 should be taken 30 minutes before eating. Take it with coffee or water or tea or whatever. Then 30 minutes or later, take your Protandim NRF2 with food for optimal absorption. So NRF1 is absorbed better on an empty stomach, whereas NRF2 is absorbed better with food. ATP production by mitochondria produces more free radicals and oxidative stress. So don't use Protandim NRF1 without Protandim NRF2. So in summary, Protandim NRF1 boosts mitochondrial function. It increases mitochondrial biogenesis, that is, it helps your body make more mitochondria, and it protects the mitochondrial DNA. We know it increases cellular energy by 20%, that is, it increases your energy source, the ATP, by 20%. We enhance cellular health, and we improve sleep quality and promote cellular repair. And it essentially helps slow cellular aging by supporting the DNA in mitochondria. You can see the components of the NRF1: rhodiola, rosea, coenzyme Q, grape extract, alpha lipoic acid, and quercetin. And remember that the NRF1 was developed to be taken with Protandim NRF2. So, that show over 50% of the people had benefit. And I hope folks can see the same. That's all I have for you tonight. I hope I'll stop the sharing.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Harris. We'll have a quick second here. Hopefully we can you hear us okay? You were breaking out a few times there, so we'll try to maybe ask a couple of questions.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. As a doctor, can you tell us what you're most excited about with LifeVantage and the products that we have here?
Well, I think that one of the things that really got my interest was when the National Institute of Aging did their own study Protandim, and a variety of other things. And, you know, which extrapolate that to human years, that correlates to about 5 years of human lifespan. And the only other things that increase lifespan were metformin, which is for diabetic, and also a product which helps reduce immune rejection in kidney transplants. I'm not diabetic. I'm not going to take metformin, and I'm certainly not going to take an immune modulator, you know, and so really I think that was a huge study. And you know, when I look at the ability to prolong and improve the function of mitochondria, I think we also have an anti-aging component there. And so I think that's really exciting. I still find True Science to be an amazing product. When you look at the human skin cell studies and you apply that NRF2 technology to the skin, you not only make your skin look younger, healthier, better color, less wrinkles, all the things that we look for in retinol-based products, but when you look at skin biopsies, you see healthy layers of skin. You see DNA that is repairing itself normally. When you look at retinol-treated skin, it looks not healthy, clumped DNA. It's, you know, it's not a good situation. I'd rather have good looking skin that looks younger, that's also healthy and rejuvenated.
I agree. It's mind blowing every single time that we learn more and more, not only about Protandim, NRF1, NRF2, the True Science skincare line, the Canine Health, Physique, our Probi. I mean, it's just the more that you dig into this science, and when you hear, you know, yourself and other medical professionals talk more about it, it's absolutely mind-blowing what we have our hands on. I did receive a couple of texts asking about telomeres, if it lengthens them, if it has anything to do with them. I'm sure you get this question every once in a while.
Yeah, I don't know of any data on NRF1 that lengthens telomeres. Perhaps, you know, we have the two original studies that I spoke of tonight. I know there's animal studies that are in progress, and so hopefully we're going to have more data, you know, as time goes on. We just don't have as much information as we do with NRF2.
The other thing that I've heard from several people, and I would love your opinion on this, is some people are taking their Protandim NRF1 at night, saying that they're noticing a big difference at night, that they're sleeping better compared to the morning. Do you have an opinion on that?
You know, originally, you know, I've recommended that he take it in the morning because, you know, we want to increase energy, right? We don't want to impair sleep.
Right.
We know it has an effect that lasts 24 hours. It peaks in 6 hours. After you've been on a product that lasts for 24 hours, you know, a true once a day product, you should have pretty stable levels after 5 to 7 days. And so realistically, I don't think, if it works for you taking it at night when perhaps it's a little easier to take it on an empty stomach, go for it. You know, if you sleep better, that's fine, you know.
Perfect. Anything else for you?
No, I just love the information. And the cool thing to me on NRF1 is really the studies and the research are almost where we were with NRF2, you know, 6-7 years ago. And we're just at the very beginning of understanding how important this pathway is.
I couldn't agree more. I think the best is yet to come.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm really excited about with LifeVantage, because, you know, this is a very progressive company, and I think we're just at the verge of a lot of good things.
So I guess the last question, as being a doctor and being so excited about the products, does this business, why are you doing the business? Does the business side excite you?
Absolutely. Yeah, you know, that's the easiest question you've asked me yet, because, you know, I spend my day treating chronic illness. That's not always fun, right? And you're not curing things. You're not preventing things from happening in many cases. And, you know, with this business, it's fun. You're keeping people well. We have the ability to slow that aging process. And so from a physician's perspective, that's what you went to med school for. You wanted to try and prevent disease and make people healthier. And we really have the chance to do this. And not just me, because this isn't an FDA controlled product. Everybody on this call has that ability to go out there and help somebody that they know or love.
And I know your wife absolutely loves the business opportunity as far as being a grandma and doing many other things that she loves to do, that the financial side absolutely is able to bring home to you guys as well.
Absolutely.
Yep. Well, you're
back on regular clinical practice. This is what I like to do. It's a whole lot more fun sitting here doing this than going to the clinic every day. And the opportunity is huge. What can you say?
Yes, and we've got the most incredible people to work with, and we all just have such a purposeful life here at LifeVantage, and we're just so grateful that you joined us and took time out of your busy schedule to educate us. And thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We want to respect everybody's time. We'll definitely get the recording out. And I know a few things were cut out, Dr. Harris, when you were speaking tonight. So if I get a few questions, I might just text them if anybody has a question or two, and I'll get back to them. But your slides were amazing, so I think everybody got the gist there. But we, again, appreciate everybody being on tonight. Definitely check out the Doctor Call tomorrow night with Dr. Bly Hatch. Tomorrow morning, Carrie Dickey's and Stu Brody's call at 11 o'clock in the morning, and Thursday night opportunity call. And then we'll see you again on Sunday night. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Let's go bless a lot of lives. Take care.
See you guys.
Thank
Have a
you.
great week.
Bye-bye.